see. We live. Junior, we already got Junior in the house. What's up, Junior? We are getting everything. This is yours.
No, that's not mine.
So I know whose it is. It's not mine either.
I was like, mine's right here.
There we go. I was like, no,
Is that your dad's?
Yeah, look.
Oh.
I was like, what the heck? All right, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, Luis? What's up, Elvis? We got Terrell in the house. Henry 21, we live. All right, give us a little bit of feedback real quick. Can you guys hear us clearly? Do we sound like we're far away? Do we sound a little muddy? Just stuff like that, you know what I mean? Let me see. We're good on the gains. Yeah. All right. Can you guys hear us clearly? Can you guys see us before we get started? We got a lot to talk about today. Notification squad. Thank you, Henry. What's up, Isabel? Just left Universal. It was too packed. I saw. We have seen what's going on over there, man. They are not playing games when it comes down to Saturdays at Universal Studios.
We sound Gucci.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Bell coming in loud and clear.
The bell. Rosie, thank you. I'm going to get the live stream also open on my phone. Oh, we got some super chats coming through. Oh, my God.
Bougie drop.
Can we hit the bougie bell?
For Jar Jar Bougie. And
Jar
Jar, I got the link in the description for the sunblock if you want to buy yourself some bougie block.
we don't even care what the name is. It's bougie block. It's just bougie block.
The link's in the description.
Yep. Thank you, Jar Jar June. Jar Jar Bougie. We also got another super chat. Johnny Braun. He says, we live. Yeah. Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate you supporting the fire, my friend. All right, we're going to wait like 1 or 2 more minutes, let people join. But good afternoon, everybody. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys got yourself some Saturday popcorn because we're about to get ready to talk a whole lot of Walt Disney World today. I know we usually been talking about Disneyland. That's been all the focus. But we're worried about Florida right now because there's a lot of stuff that's going down. And these are big changes because this caught a lot of people off guard because some people, their visit yesterday is a whole lot different than their visit today. And people, when you go to Walt Disney World, you're there for like 3 to 7 to 10 days. Mm-hmm. So some people caught mid-trip off guard right here that went down.
So we got a super chat from Anna who sends $9.99 and says, I'm still going to wear my mask because of the cute Disney designs. LOL. Got to coordinate with the outfits.
And you know what's funny, Anna? I talked to some people at Universal Studios who said the same thing. They're like, I'm going to keep wearing my mask because I'm not totally comfortable with completely taking it off. But I bought a lot of masks to fit my outfits. It's like a thing, you know? You got the like
Jurassic World mask.
Jurassic World with the Jurassic World, Star Wars with Star Wars. I get it.
We get it. We got another super chat.
But thank you, Anna. Appreciate it.
From Debbie Knudsen.
Debbie! Let me bring it up. What's up, Debbie?
Who sends $9.99 and says, hi, watched your video on Blue Bayou that just dropped like earlier today.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that.
I just want to make sure that I can make reservations through the Disney app the same way you do with Lamplight Lounge. Yes, absolutely, Debbie. It's just we don't know when it's going to go live. You're just going to have to check, unfortunately.
I know. You can, like, if you haven't downloaded the Disneyland app already and you're going to have a future trip to Disneyland, do it right now. Because the Disneyland app is becoming like vital to having a good day at Disneyland.
Yeah. Like, well, it's not even vital. It's like essential.
It's essential.
Yeah.
But the thing about reservations with Blue Bayou, Disneyland gave no notice at all if they go live at midnight, 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 9, who knows? I do recommend, though, I know this sounds crazy, but if you're a crazy Disneyland fan like us, stay up till midnight just in case they go live at midnight and wake up at 6 a.m. because that's usually when stuff goes down. And if it's not 6 a.m., it'll be 9.
Yeah.
For sure before 10, in my opinion. But thank you, Debbie.
And we got another super chat from Henry21.
Henry21! What's up, Henry? Need that bougie sunscreen for June 1st. Fire punch! Hell yeah. Links in the description if you want the bougie block. It goes straight to the exact one that Danny uses. I had to buy one at Sephora that wasn't the bougie block like his. I recommend his. The one I used was still good, but the bougie block worked on a day when it was like 90 degrees out there. And that thing kept me cool.
We got another super chat from Raul the Doctor.
The doctor in the house. He said, what up, Mondo, Danny, and the Mod Squad. Fire punch.
And Raul just won a big load of money at a casino the other day.
Hey, Raul. Congratulations.
I know. It's got to feel good.
This guy's on fire. But thank you, man. But yes, what's up, Michael Morrow?
Yeah, we got some people in the chat saying they hate the mask, they like the mask. Yeah, people are all, they're kind of all over the place with it. So that's what we're here to talk about what's going on at Walt Disney World. So if you guys are planning a trip to Walt Disney World in the next few months, you know what to expect. But honestly, things are changing so quickly. So tune in to Five Fires YouTube because I'm sure Mondo will update you as soon as they change again.
And your Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask Danny on Instagram. Should we go straight to the website already, or?
Yeah, let's start. Well, I guess go ahead and share what happened yesterday with the announcement from Orange County, Florida. So.
Yes, there's been a lot of changes that have gone down in Orange County, Florida, but where we're going specifically is Walt Disney World. I know there's a lot of things happening with CDC and the way counties are interpreting it and stuff like that, but we're going with the interpretations and the applications from Walt Disney World. So we're going to their actual website. Let me bring it up right now.
Yeah, so essentially, Orange County, Florida ended their mask mandate following the announcement from CDC. States were already allowed to have their own mask mandates, so really the CDC guidance really didn't influence their decision per se, but it was just they felt an appropriate time for them to do it. So Orange County, Florida removed all outdoor mask recommendations or mandates per se. And then Walt Disney World and other theme parks in the area around Walt Disney World followed suit with their own versions of that modified rule. So we have Walt Disney World essentially ending their outdoor mask mandate. So if you're in an outdoor area where you can physically distance from people, with enough space to have at least 3 feet of distance between the people around you, then you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're in an attraction or if you're in an indoor space like a store, you do still have to wear a mask. Masks are required. And now the signage at Walt Disney World, like you guys saw on the thumbnail of this video, does indicate that. It says, the mask mandate is in effect, or mask required indoors and on attractions is what it says. So.
Yep, and we're going straight to the Walt Disney World website. And let me bring it up. So the new guidance from the theme park and face coverings. Face coverings are required for all guests ages 2 and up and cast members. Please bring your own face coverings and wear them in all indoor locations except when actively eating and drinking while stationary and maintaining appropriate physical distancing. Face coverings are optional in outdoor common areas at Walt Disney World Resort. Whoa.
Yeah.
Let me read that again. Face coverings are optional in outdoor common areas at Walt Disney World Resort, but are still required upon entering and throughout all attractions, theaters, and transportation. So let me reiterate that because I know this is a lot of information coming, and these are changes that got implemented today, right now as we speak. So let me read that again. Face coverings are optional in outdoor common areas at Walt Disney World Resort, but are still required upon entering and throughout all attractions, theaters, and transportation. Before we keep reading, Danny, how do you feel about that? Because you've been at Walt Disney World, being outdoors. this has to be a relief to a lot of people going to the theme park. But at the same time, I know there's a lot of people that are still worried about taking off the mask. But it's like 90 degrees out there. And there's a couple of like people I've seen on Instagram that are out there right now. Like they're relieved to not be able to wear the mask, but it seems like wearing the mask now will only be, as I said, like when you're in the attractions, theaters, transportation.
Yeah. So I think some great places that it's gonna be nice for is like Disney Springs. It's a huge outdoor mall, so they don't have to. And also like for the mask relaxation areas, like pretty much now anywhere outside is as long as you're in an area where you can be distant from other people, which is basically like all of Disney Springs, to be honest. But that's nice to have your mask off. I mean, it's already in the 90s in Florida with upwards of 90% humidity throughout the summer. So it's going to be a welcome change for a lot of people, I'm sure. The people that I think it's going to be hard for is going to be the cast members because they have to now remind guests to put their mask back on for an attraction or in a restaurant who maybe don't want to put it back on. And that's, I think, the hard part.
That's a great topic to think about, because the one issue that we heard from a lot of like cast member friends was telling people to put their mask on. So now that they have the mask off as an option, to then tell them, hey, you need your mask on when you're getting on the ride, I feel like that might happen a lot now, especially because these changes are happening as we speak. In the theaters, the rides, the transportation especially. Please be nice to all cast members at Walt Disney World. Yeah. If they tell you to put your mask on, don't get offended by it. They're following their job in keeping people safe. That's what everything revolves around. So as of right now, with the guidance that Walt Disney World's doing and the way that they want to work as a business, you have to wear a mask throughout all attractions, theaters, transportation. So when they tell you to put your mask on and you're out there, do not get offended, because it's hard to just tell a random person like, put your mask on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is very hard, especially if someone's not wanting to comply. And plus, you got your normal cast member jobs to do, like whether you're, checking, height for kids that are coming into an attraction, all the safety things you got in mind, and they have to keep this in mind too, is a little bit hard for them. So, just if you're watching, be nice to the cast members, because they have a hard job already, and then having to now monitor mask wearing at the attractions when they don't have to elsewhere is going to be hard for them. And attendance has gone up, so but they have started reducing physical distancing requirements throughout the park from 6 feet to 3 feet. So that was another change we wanted to talk about. Yep. Was they started removing the 6 feet requirement, and so now it's 3 feet requirement, which is kind of always on par with what, like, for instance, China was doing. China never implemented a 2-meter distance thing. They always were just 1 meter, which is kind of what we're doing now. Or at least over in Florida. So that's something that they're starting to implement. That'll allow the lines to look a lot shorter. The lines won't take as much space in the pathways, so people can spread out in the pathways, because right now it's looking a lot like Disneyland does, where the pathways are taken up by all the queues that have to extend outward into the pathways because of the 6-foot distance in those queues. At least at Walt Disney World, they can queue indoors, which is a welcome thing there, since the heat is so unbearable at times. And then another change on top of that is they also today began phasing out guest temperature checks at Walt Disney World. So literally all this stuff started happening today. It's literally changing as we speak. They're still doing temperature checks in some areas and some in not. They're literally carting out signage from the parks. Mondo has a picture of it. They're literally carting out signage from within the park that mentions 6 feet, that mentions wearing a mask. They're literally taking them all off on a cart, because it's like literally changing in the moment. I mean, you have to think about it. It's 4 parks, Disney Springs. That's a lot of space to change. And another thing that they're changing too is we're starting to see the plexiglass dividers on attractions disappear. And one of the ones that has lost the plexiglass dividers is Tower of Terror. That's the first one that
Yeah.
was noted. So Tower of Terror in the queue and on the ride started losing its plexiglass cover. So
And the other thing to talk about when it comes down to the plexiglass, and this is from blogmickey.com, they're now filling all the rows. Look at that. All the rows.
oh yeah, that's another thing too. They're
All
filling.
the rows. And I was seeing a couple things come out throughout, I think it was Twitter, is that capacity has just skyrocketed when it comes down to how many people are getting on the ride for Tower of Terror.
Mm-hmm.
The like double or triple probably the amount of people that are now getting on the ride because they're being able to fill all available seats. So that's
Yeah.
really cool
Exactly.
to hear that, because we all know Walt Disney World's already busy as it is. So not to hear that the capacity at the ride to get people on is going up, it's a good thing. Obviously, it all comes down to these changes that are happening. One thing I do want to mention still, I want to go over it real quick since we're on the website. Face coverings throughout Walt Disney World Resort. And this is all information from the website of Walt Disney World. So face coverings are required upon entering and throughout all attractions, all theaters, including theater entrances, all transportations, including transportation entrances, and all indoor locations, including restaurants, except when actively eating or drinking while stationary. Face coverings are optional outdoor common areas and pool decks.
Yeah.
And that's a subject for a
Yeah.
subject for a different live. But
And it's funny that Mondo mentioned that, and I wanted to talk about that on this live. Is essentially that means like Blizzard Beach and Typhoon Lagoon water parks at Walt Disney World, you're almost never having to wear a mask, period, because you don't have to wear a mask while you're in line for the water ride. You don't have to wear a mask on the water ride, and you don't have to wear a mask if you're in the pool or in like the lazy river. So really, the only time you would have to wear a mask at Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon is if you're shopping indoors, like in one of their stores, or if you're entering like one of their sit-down restaurants, maybe, and you haven't sat down to eat yet. That'd be the only time you would actually need a mask at those two theme parks. So you could potentially have a completely mask-free day at Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon with these new rules in effect, which is crazy to think of. You know, it's just so weird.
Let me see. I'm just reading some of the comments right now. The thing too that like really it kind of left me thinking a lot was how fast these changes came and how fast these changes got implemented. It all happened literally in hours. It wasn't even a day. It was hours. Like less than 24 hours. It was just boom, boom. We're announcing this is gone. Signs are gone. You could show up. I was telling Danny, one of the things I wish we would have got like 10 days or something, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like you could kind of build up to, okay, come in a week or two, we're going to not have masks. Instead of like, boom, no masks, the common areas, let's go. To me, I was just like, wow, these changes came fast. But it is what it is now, at least in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The real questions to ask, Danny, would you feel safe being out there with no mask in Magic Kingdom, Epcot, you know, any of the 4 parks?
Mm-hmm.
Because the answer for me, I think I would feel safe, because at least when I went in February, when I was at Walt Disney World, there's so much space in Florida, or the Walt Disney World park. So like I never felt crowded. So I could see why the mask is still the mask is needed in like the indoors, because that's when the only times you really get crowded. But other than that, there's just so much space out there. So I think I would feel comfortable to take off the mask.
Yeah, I feel the same way when I'm outdoors. Especially like I went to Florida in when was it? For Horror Nights last year, or in 2019, or 2020 actually. I did the whole like during the day type, you know, mask wearing and like the hot heat over there. And it was really bad. And it was like very hard to wear a mask outdoors. So it's nice that it's going to be an option outdoors to not have one on. Um, I know that some people don't feel comfortable with it, and this is an unfortunate change for them because they maybe have booked flights, maybe booked trips, and wasn't expecting this to be a change that was made so suddenly. Um, so I know that's unfortunate for some people, and hopefully Disney can accommodate with like maybe moving their trip to a different time. And there's no issues in regards to that. But me personally, I feel okay with outside not having a mask on. It wasn't too long ago. I keep reminding Mondo and other people, it wasn't too long ago, July and June of 2020 here in Orange County, California, masks were optional. They were outdoors anyway. There was zero mask mandate outdoors. It wasn't until we went on that second lockdown at the end of July when things started to get really bad that they mandated the masks again. So there was already a long period of time where you could walk around anywhere in Orange County, California, and not have a mask. So we kind of already experienced that a little bit here, and then kind of went away real fast. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing it outside. So, especially with people being vaccinated and everything, I feel like that helps boost confidence a little bit too for some people.
Well, not just vaccination, but cases being so low now.
Yeah, that too.
But so low for such a long time, or the period of time. You know what I mean? Ann Cena has a comment. She says, I think notification on the changes would have been because I'm sure some people planned their visits purposely while masking and distancing was in place. And that's something that I was talking to Danny about. I hope Walt Disney World is able to refund people that are just not comfortable with the changes that happen in mid-trip or while they're about to get, like they just flew there yesterday and they're about to hit the park today. Mm-hmm. And they're like, whoa. This is not the Walt Disney World I was trying to come to.
Yeah. Like I have family there. I have family there that literally checked in the day before yesterday, and then now during their trip, this has happened. This change has happened. The attendance has increased. The masks have gone off. The plexiglass has come down. So for them, they were just like, "Whoa, this is all happening like while we're here." And there was no notification or anything. They got a push notification that it was happening in that moment on the Disneyland app to their phone.
It's like it's right now.
Yeah. But that was really about it that they got as far as notification or anything. Like the front desk at the hotel didn't notify them or anything like that. So
also Judy B, you gotta give her the Jabuji bell for Judy B.
And a bell, regular bell too.
The heat and humidity in Florida is brutal. So I haven't really ever felt the humidity. I felt the heat. Did you get the humidity wearing the mask back last year?
It's bad. Yeah.
Because what was the month you went last year?
I went in November. Oh, I went October 31st, so I flew in on Halloween, and I was in Universal Studios Orlando on Halloween Day, and I was there on November 1st.
And it was hot and humid.
Yeah. It was gross. Yeah.
Because like the mask. Because you got to understand, when you're out there in Florida, you literally get put in this mode of like, I call it involuntarily sweat. It doesn't matter. You're sweating. And then with the mask and then 90 plus degrees and you're trying to do a trip that's like, because when you go to Walt Disney World, any of the parks, you're there at least 6 to 10 hours. So 6 to 10 hours with the mask and the coming heat that's coming, that is challenging in itself, and that would definitely affect guest experience like crazy. So I think having them not have the mask with the new guidelines that have all been set with the counties and the state over there in Florida, that's going to help out the experience a lot for guests.
Yeah.
Just to not have the mask.
And we have another chat here. Let's see.
Let me click it. There you go.
We can move that over there. We go. So from Carlos Herrera, who says, have you heard anything about Disneyland letting out-of-state guests to attend the park anytime soon? My family's planning on going in August. You think by that time things will change? Potentially, we have the governor throwing out the date of June 15th quite frequently, and the California Department of Health. So we might even hear something as soon as Monday in regards to changes at the Disneyland Resort for masks and temperature check and physical distancing and all of that as soon as Monday. So that'll be going down potentially. So we're going to need to keep an ear on that one. But not sure yet. As of right now, they're still randomly checking IDs at Disneyland, so I wouldn't head there with the expectation that you could go if you're going soon. I know you mentioned August, but we should probably hear something before then. Let's see here.
We just got a text real quick from Brett from Florida, and he said 95% of people walking around are not wearing masks, but in the buildings, everybody's following the rules now. Like, so that's good to hear.
It's easy to put it on in the building, to be honest, because Florida has so much indoor stuff, and because of the heat, they do a lot of indoor queuing. They have a lot of stuff like that, and there's a lot of air conditioning going on. So
yeah,
they're big on a lot of indoor stuff like that. So it's easy to wear your mask inside when it's air conditioned. It's hard to wear it outside.
Yeah,
that's the hard part.
Did you find the comment?
It was a super chat there.
Oh, super chat. Oh, damn, from the bougie. Jar Jar Bougie. He says, I just got my Swarovski mask made to wear. I am sure I could find a good use for it. Good to see both of your bougie faces today. Hope you're having an awesome weekend, Jar Jar. It's kind of... There's a couple things I want to talk about with the mask and everything that's going on. Since we've been wearing the mask for so long, I feel like I've kind of grown this like comfort to wearing the mask. Like, for goodness sake, I have a tan mask of how much I wear a mask. Like, I'm as much as I'm out, I'm always wearing a mask. Period. You know, it is a little weird and an odd feeling now to be like, hey, I'm not going to wear a mask anymore when I'm outdoors and around people. But at the same time, I feel like we do have to go in that step of like back to a little bit of normalcy per se. So I think there's a lot of people on social media now being like, look, it's my face again on like an Instagram story. You know what I mean? Or on like YouTube live, like you can see people's faces again. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing I missed is like a smile from somebody, you know what I mean? Because we've all had the mask. It's like this, you know. But
it's weird it's weird that we've only been wearing masks for like 15 months or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's weird how like different it feels when you don't have it on outside in a place where you normally would have had to have it on. It's weird how that like makes you feel, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird that just a year of doing that can like change so much. They always say so much can change in a year, right?
Yeah.
But it's just weird to see that. But we have a couple super chats going from.
We got a super chat from the Sorcerer Mouse. Thank you, Sorcerer Mouse. Going to Disney and Universal Orlando in September and October. Let's talk about that. We got to talk about that too. Planning on doing HHN and Boo Bash. Damn, you. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's going to be 5 fires. Hope to see you both there. If everything goes well, we will be there. We will be there. Sorcerer Mouse, you bring up a good point. Come October, September, if cases never go up again, will there be any implementation of Rona requirements?
That's the thing.
And we're talking only Walt Disney World. We're not talking California, nothing like that. We're talking Walt Disney World.
And remember, Disney had to make an announcement regarding Boo Bash based on the current guidelines that were in place now. They couldn't make an announcement of Boo Bash on the guidelines that were in place in the future that they potentially might know of by talking to government officials and even CDC officials because they can't like give a preview of what's going on because it's all based upon data and like what's actually happening. So, who knows? Come Boo Bash, maybe they as we get closer, maybe they retract that and they don't even offer Boo Bash and they just go right back to Mickey's Not So Scary. It is an important anniversary for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party this year. So
dang, that's kind of crazy to think about.
So they could just all of a sudden be like, Boo Bash is like not happening anymore. I mean, Disney, that hasn't been the first time. They just completely retract something that they've announced and just go with something totally different. So they could 100% do just back to Not So Scary. We could have fireworks. We could have the Boo to You parade.
Ooh.
Like, it could be back to normal. And if anything, Universal Orlando is going to go to that first for as far as normality. So I would expect a very real and normal Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Yeah, with scare zones.
Yeah, all that
no
stuff.
Plexiglass possibly in the mazes.
Mm-hmm. But maybe having to wear your mask in the maze, you know?
Yes. But who knows, dude? September, October, things change so fast in a day. We're talking months from now. I don't know. At the end of the day, we can't foresee the future. We could only hope cases stay down, period. That's what we all want. At the end of the day, we never, ever want cases to go up again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We got a super chat from Darnell Wright. Hey guys, at Knott's and yes, Mondo, you talked us into the meal plan. Darnell Wright, you will not regret it. I promise you. All right, Danny, if you were at Knott's Berry Farm, where would you get a meal plan right now? What are you in the mood for?
I would go to Fireman's Barbecue probably.
Oh, yeah.
Fireman's Brigade. I haven't been yet. We've done meal plan like 3 times already since Knott's reopened. It's so great to just go get meals even. And we did Panda Express a couple times. We did the Wilderness Lodge or whatever. What is it called?
Yeah.
Over in Camp Snoopy, the big restaurant there. Dude, I did not know that that restaurant in Camp Snoopy has such a large upper deck for dining.
It's huge.
It goes around the whole building.
Yeah.
And there's all these tables to spread out up there. It was like I could sit up there for a whole day.
And the views are cool up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going back there for sure. The lines don't move quick there, I'll tell you, but it's fun over there.
I would use a meal plan at Boardwalk Barbecue. I just want some barbecue right now. That sounds amazing. And they got so many good sides to choose from. But good luck, Darnell Wright. Hope you have a wonderful day at Knott's. Let me see.
We got a super chat from Jar Jar Bougie.
Jar Jar Bougie.
We get the bougie bell here for Jar Jar.
In all seriousness, I agree. The mask seems like an extra layer of safety. Feels like we are moving too quick. Couldn't this move a little slower? And that's what I was mentioning earlier is how fast things happened. Mm-hmm. It was like we got a tweet, an Instagram post, and then hours after that, it was like Walt Disney World made the change.
Yeah.
Universal Orlando made the change. SeaWorld, they were like, we don't have to wear a mask anywhere.
Yeah. But I think, it would have been, I thought we would have seen like the temperature checks go away.
Like a transition.
Yeah, and then the plexiglass removed. And then like the next step after that would have been like no masks outdoors. And then, like a step-by-step kind of thing. But like they're just like, bam, rip the Band-Aid. We're doing it all at once. So that was interesting to see. I agree with that.
Yeah. But if I was at Walt Disney World right now, I would be like thankful that you do not mandatorily have to wear a mask. Because if it's hot out there, it's rough. It is rough. I actually did wear a mask when I was in February. I'm not even like come to think about it. And all I kept when I would go like this, finally like to take a break, you're like, like you just want to breathe.
And you only had light humidity then.
Yeah, that was like not. I can't imagine the heat and humidity right now. Not wearing a mask is definitely a huge plus right now. In a safe manner. We got a
big super chat from Michael Morrow.
Michael, thank you, Michael Morrow. Just wanted to show some love to the Five Fire fam and the Mod Squad. You all are the best. Fire push. Heck yeah. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you supporting the fire. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend, my friend. Oh, man. Yeah. Shout out to the Mod Squad. As always, you guys are amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it could just become a normal thing. Like, we don't have. I feel like at this point, masks are pretty normalized. You know what I mean? You're not going to be like, throwing them away. I mean, if that's what you want to do when they have no mask mandates anywhere in the U.S., like that's your prerogative. Like that could be what you do. But in most Asian countries, they're worn anytime there's people congregating in like tight spaces, whether it's like a shopping district, public transportation, airports, stuff like that. Like they're usually always wearing masks just out of their own, for like they want to do it themselves. And if they're sick, they also wear it too, just to kind of like keep the germs inside. So that I think that's just the way that it's going to be from now on. I think that's always going to be the case. You'll probably always see people wearing masks in public places, and then removing them when they feel comfortable to do it. So I don't feel like anyone should be like shamed for wearing a mask or wanting to wear one.
Let's be clear. You can still wear a mask and no one's going to at all. If you want to wear a mask all day right now at Walt Disney World, you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's your decision. Where Disney's making it an option, they made it clear where you do not have to wear a mask if you don't want to, which is pretty much the outdoor common areas is where it's at.
And to be honest, every time I have taken a trip to Walt Disney World in the past, way before, the Rona happened, you'd always like come back and you'd get sick. And it's not because of like being at Walt Disney World, but it was like usually the flight. Everyone gets sick when they go on like a big flight, and then you get like some kind of cold or some kind of sinus infection or something like that. So I feel like maybe wearing a mask on a plane moving forward is probably just like a good idea in general, or any transportation really. So,
and one thing I don't see it on the website, but capacity is they did say capacity is going to go up at Walt Disney World. There's no time frame of when it's going to happen or how much or whatever. But we're going to keep an eye on all of that. And for the physical distancing, which is the 6 feet apart, we asked a couple friends and they were saying it's kind of like just whatever's comfortable right now. The whole 6 feet apart is no longer like you have to be 6 feet apart now. You know what I mean? It's just kind of that. I don't want to say it's gone away, but the whole 6 feet apart thing is not going to be like a mandatory enforce at Walt Disney World anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But we're keeping an eye to see where that goes because Universal did 3 feet. I don't know if Walt Disney World's going to do 3 feet or just no feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they still have reduced contact, so they're still pushing mobile order. They're still testing like things like Apple Pay in certain areas and stuff like that. So that's still a highlight for them. So Mondo and I has talked about this on so many different lives about automation coming to the theme parks. They were already planning it, but this just pushed their hand to do it even faster. So I don't see the people that don't like mobile order and that don't like doing your own payment and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't think that's going anywhere. I think that's here to stay for probably ever. And it's only going to get more involved.
I found it about the mask, or not the mask, the physical distancing. This is Walt Disney World's website, by the way. Temporary adjustments are still in place to promote physical distancing. While we will reduce physical distancing measures for guests across many areas with gradual phased approach, 6 feet distancing measures will continue in all dining locations, merchandise stores, and in areas where guests can temporarily remove their mask. Wow, that's good. That's really good information to know right there.
Yeah. So dining locations, they still mean like the tables are going to be 6 feet distance apart from each other. So you're still going to have reduced capacity at restaurants. So you don't have to worry about being like in a jam-packed restaurant. It's still going to be physically distanced. So that's a good thing for people that are, we're kind of nervous about that. That's still going to be in place when you're dining. So the change between yesterday and today for dining hasn't changed. And then merchandise, I would assume the 6 feet distance is probably like the lines, the queues to check out at the registers and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right. Final thoughts, Danny?
Well, we have a couple chats here. One from Tanya Stefanian.
Yep. Let me go to it real quick. There we go. Right here.
Yeah.
Tanya says, Mondo Danny went to Knott's on Mother's Day with myself, my mom, and my son used his pass, and myself, I used food pass too. And us three, we all eat for free, and also had free parking. Had free parking too. So Tanya used all the benefits that you can have at Knott's, which is the parking, the meal plan, and obviously your annual pass. If you get like a super loaded annual pass for Knott's, so having like the annual pass, meal plan, soda plan, parking, it comes around like $350, and that goes all year. Mm-hmm. You cannot beat that price for an annual pass at Knott's. But I'm glad you had a wonderful time, Tanya.
Sandra G says she'd rather have 6 feet distance over a mask.
You know, yeah. and to talk about what Sandra's saying, Dollywood, because mentioned Dollywood, they said you don't have to wear a mask, period, unless you're in a queue. So I feel like that kind of goes with what Sandra's saying too. When 6 feet apart in the queues, I like the 6 feet apart in the queues. It's comfortable. There's a lot of things that happened with the Rona with these new measures that did bring a lot of more comfortable experiences at theme parks. And 6 feet in the queues was one of them, big time.
And Jedi Princess says, I like the 6 feet in queues.
Yeah, so as of right now, Walt Disney World is still doing that. At least that's what it says on the website. But common areas, I think the 6 feet, that doesn't exist. Or they're gradually taking it away, as they're saying.
Ryan is mildly hot asks, how much is an annual pass for Disney and what are the perks? There is no annual pass for Disneyland, but there is an annual pass for Walt Disney World. However, they're not selling brand new passes right now. The only way to get one is if you had a current one and you're renewing, then they're allowing you to do so. If you're an out-of-state guest, you don't have the option. Disney World doesn't have like all these tiers of annual passes. They got one pass.
That's all you get.
And if you're a Florida resident, you got 2 passes, and so or 3 or something like that. So, but we only had an option for one, and that pass was like $1,080 or something like that.
Yeah.
And you have every perk possible. You get free parking. You get discounts on merchant dining. Dining in some places, but not really, because they don't really do dining discounts there. And then they give you access to like the water parks, discounts on other things. So it's good perks with the annual passes there.
We got updates in live time right here. The Schmoofs. Check out their YouTube channel and podcast. Yes, still 6 feet in queues. And he also mentioned in World Showcase right now, which is Epcot, Walt Disney World, 95% of people don't have masks on. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the dream of most guests that were going there, because at Walt Disney World, like the guests, when you're at Epcot and specifically like at DCA too, people want a drink and they want a drink in hand and they want to stroll through the park while they're drinking their stuff
and like, walk the World Showcase.
Yeah, that's what you want to do in Epcot. And so like this is like the biggest welcome change for them. And honestly, probably they sold like twice as much drinks today at Epcot because of that rule.
Dude, 3 times. Because all of a sudden you could travel with your drink to the next spot. You don't have to be stationary, And as weird as it sounds, if I was at Walt Disney World, it would feel nice to have your water and a churro and walk around. Because that concept has not been a thing for a year now. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of nice, man.
Honestly, there was many times
think about it.
There was many times when we were at Disneyland that we didn't buy a drink or a snack because we're like, we don't want to stop and like waste time to like eat this. We need to keep going. And so I feel like we're not the only ones that made that decision. They probably lost a lot of money at both resorts with similar mentality, because people are like, we need to get going on this because we don't want to take the time to go in a designated dining area to eat this churro or eat this pretzel,
The Schmoofs, Sip and Stroll is back. That's what it is.
Sip and Stroll is back.
And he said lots of maskless people walking with beers and more.
Yep. They made probably tons of money today on drink sales for sure.
Let me see.
Mini Modi says, I was just casually checking the wait time on the Disneyland app because I'm planning my trip and saw that Radiator Springs Racers is 75 minutes.
I don't doubt it.
I don't doubt it.
Leave it at that.
I don't doubt it at all.
One thing to make a note here as well, CDC and Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World's doing what they're doing. So just because they kind of gave this guidance and guidelines and how they're expecting things, Walt Disney World's doing what they're doing as a third party and as a business.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something I just want to make clear because I feel like there's different interpretations of both of those. And so we're just going over what Walt Disney World is doing.
Mm-hmm. There was coincidentally a CDC guidance update yesterday, and it did push certain counties like Orange County, Florida, to make a change, but it doesn't align with what the CDC said. It's just a different timing where they felt like, oh, we could do this now.
Yeah.
So they're not the same. They're different guidances because all the changes that are happening in Florida are not reliant on anyone being vaccinated. So that's not a requirement. You don't have to be vaccinated to like take off your mask and walk around. So whereas like the CDC guidance is that unvaccinated people are still to wear their mask and basically all scenarios. So that's it's not in line with CDC guidance because they're not checking for
and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So we just wanted to make that clear. But we are going to keep covering these changes that are coming. I know the big question, when does Disneyland in Southern California, all the other theme parks, Knott's, Universal, SeaWorld, Six Flags, when are those changes coming? Who knows?
Monday's looking to be a big day though.
I'm not doing anything on Monday. I'm keeping myself posted to the internet and see what changes happen. And if things do change, you best believe we're going to go live with Danny. Hopefully Danny has time and on Monday because, it's going to be a hot topic to talk about. And I definitely want to just get everyone's thoughts. I just want to ask in the chat, everybody, what do we got? 270 people in here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you for supporting the fire. To hit that like button on the live stream. Thank you for supporting the live. What is your guys' opinion now that we got all the information out there? What is your opinion on all this? How do you guys feel about Walt Disney World with these changes? Post in the comments. I'm curious. I just want to read and kind of get the judgment of how the Five Fire family feels about this.
And I will say too, there hasn't been any changes, again, for people that are tuning in to any California theme parks. The only changes that have happened so far is Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm has ended guest temperature screening. They're the only theme park in Southern California to have done that thus far. And then other theme parks like Universal Studios and I think Six Flags too, right? Yeah. Are allowing guests who are vaccinated to come from out of state. So those are the only changes right now. Disneyland has made no changes whatsoever in regards to any of this. They're still doing temperature checks. They're still doing the dogs. They're still 6 feet distance, mask everywhere, all that kind of stuff. And then, all the other theme parks still require masks throughout. But those changes could happen in the next week. So we've been hearing a lot of stuff from the California Department of Public Health. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see if the theme parks follow suit shortly thereafter. So Knott's was very quick to remove temperature checks when they were advised that it was no longer necessary. So I would imagine we'll probably see Knott's make changes first if something is announced, is my guess.
Yeah. And one thing to talk about too, like having the temperature checks and all that, it's a cost. It's a big cost for the company. So that's something that's also, that cost will now be going back into the theme park and other places. So hopefully it goes to Scary Farm, to be honest. Even though we don't have a Scary Farm announcement, I hope
honestly, it would be nice if we had a Scary Farm without plexiglass, to be honest.
Oh, man. I don't know. Scary Farm with plexiglass doesn't feel like Scary Farm, in my opinion. Because Scary Farm is really in your face. It's just, if you've been to Scary Farm, you know what I'm talking about. But no, a lot of people, Danny, are on the boat. I think it was Hortensia that said, yeah, or no, where is it? Yeah, I'm excited, but a little nervous. That's kind of where I'm at too.
That's where I'm at too. That's where I'm sitting. We got Jeannie B over here saying, if you're not vaccinated and strolling around without a mask, you're a brave soul. That's what she says.
And then Nell says, I was on a flight and it was full AF. Didn't see people using hand sanitizer before they ate their Southwest snacks. I'll stay wearing the mask. It's everyone's option. That's another thing. What's going to happen with flights? I like the seat in the middle. I know that's gone now, but man, it's going to be a little weird being in an airplane and the person next to you that you have no idea, just you don't know them, not wearing a mask. That's going to be some taking used to situations. And then you're enclosed in an airplane for who knows how long your flight is.
Yeah.
Woo! A lot of big changes coming.
And I guess I got to remind everyone too that's watching, Florida, specifically like Orange County, Florida. This is not the first time that the mask mandate has been lifted or removed. This is like actually one of the last states to do it, to be honest. Florida as a whole has no mask mandate, but the governor basically just said, hey, you counties can do whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to blanket a whole rule over the entire state. Every county can do their own rules. And so Orange County, which is where Disneyland or Disney World is at, coincidentally, as also in Disneyland too. But Orange County, Florida, they kept their mask mandate in place. So Orange County, Florida's mask mandate up until today was very similar to what you'd find in Orange County, California, like almost identical, to be honest, except for they just allowed a lot more capacity indoors than we did for a long time, as far as dining and everything else is concerned. But the mask mandates have been completely removed in places like Texas and Missouri and stuff like that for a very long time, like months. And so in general, as a whole, our whole country's numbers are going down. So like, it's not an immediate knee-jerk response to say, oh, masks are going off, we're going to have cases go up, because it's already been off in other places. So we can't, like, none of us really know. We're just kind of taking it, not even like the scientists don't really know, to be honest. Like, everyone has trying to figure it out, like what's going on. And we can only listen to the scientists and what their recommendations are and just try to follow it, really. But like, we can't just assume that because the mask is gone.
The biggest thing, prioritize your health. You make your own decisions on how you're doing this. Even though there's all these guidance, prioritize your health. You know what I mean? You're your own boss in that regard. We got a huge super chat. We got to hit the horn.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how loud that horn is. I'm sorry if it's loud. No, it's good. It's good. Faith Gonzalez. Super chat $49.99. Faith says, I'm a registered nurse and I'm so over this mask situation. You don't know who has the vaccine or not, and it doesn't matter if you have been vaccinated or not, because you could still get sick if you don't take common sense practices. Wow, that is a comment right there. That projected around the world right there. Okay, I just want to say this real quick because it's on this subject that Faith is talking about. We're starting to now see articles written online with people that are fully vaccinated, meaning you got the 2 rounds, that still got the Rona. The one that I think it was the Yankees were dealing with that baseball team.
Yeah, they call them breakthrough infections.
That's like the new thing that's coming. I'm keeping my eyes to that and seeing what's going on, because this is all uncharted territory. It's just like something that I'm really I'm like my eyes are on that because I want to know what's happening with that.
But thank you, Faith. Thank you, Faith.
I appreciate that. Thank you for being a registered nurse and doing everything you do. Yeah, seriously.
A lot of work this year. I think Jeannie B sums it up perfectly. She says, honestly, there are so many unknowns. If being a little safe by keeping some precautions in place will help people stay healthy and allow parks to remain open, then why not let's be safe and have fun too. Bam, there you go. We'll do a little porn for that one. It's true. We got to do what we can to keep the theme parks open so they don't have to close again. And if it means we have to wear masks indoors, I'm totally okay with that. And I have zero issues with doing that whatsoever. So even if Disneyland were to implement something similar, I think that's totally fine. And I would have no issues with complying, because if it means we can stay open, it can stay open. You know what I mean? So that's what's important for all of us who are fans of the theme parks.
Yeah. Let me see. There was one more comment I wanted to go over. Okay. I just want to say this too. The stuff that's been going on in Florida, I've always said it. It's kind of like foreshadowing for what happens in California. We have been moving a lot slower than Florida, obviously, but we're going to keep our eyes and ears posted to see what changes come. So I just want to let everybody know we don't have information on California because there isn't, but we're going to keep our eyes and ears to all the news. So stay tuned. Speculation Sunday tomorrow is going to be big time.
But it was really great to see. That's one of the reasons why Mondo wanted to come live, was to get everyone's opinion on what people thought about the changes, because we were like really shocked and it happened so fast. Like he was saying,
I was mind blown.
So we kind of wanted to see what the Five Fires community was like thinking about the changes and like what their opinions were on everything. So it was good to see like some people's opinions differing and similar, and all those different things in there. So it was awesome to see, and of course everyone's keeping it friendly as they usually do.
Seriously, as I can't help but say that I love Five Fire community. You guys are incredible. All the moderators too. Shout out to them for being so amazing and creating the Five Fire community, and just the image and branding that we got is we keep it clean, fun, and we're all about just having fun in the chat, communicating. And I know a lot of people have like become friends in the Five Fire chat. How cool is that? But I can't help but emphasize that like I just love the Five Fire community and what we're building here in Five Fire's YouTube channel. This is amazing. I love the fact that we could talk Disneyland, Knott's, Universal, Six Flags, Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando, Busch Gardens, hopefully soon Dollywood. It's a blessing. It's really a blessing to have just everyone be so open to hear other theme parks as a subject. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think one positive thing about like the changes that we've all gone through is that like people are more aware of like if they're sick or not. And I feel like before, like at work or whatnot, like if you were sick, you're like, let me muscle through it and go to work and like infect everyone at work.
I've done the like you're feeling it, but you still go to work because you don't got sick time,
or you're like just kind of exposing yourself to your family and everything, and you're not like staying isolated. So I feel like this brought to light like everyone being like, okay, I need to be more like cognizant. If I'm sick, I need to be doing stuff.
I will say this. If I ever get like symptoms of like a flu, or not a flu, but like I'm getting like a runny nose, the watery eyes, I'm feeling like I'm getting something, I'm definitely gonna wear a mask forever now. I like having this like addition of a mask when it's needed, not Rona related at all, but just in other instances, because I think it's like Danny mentioned this a long time ago. In other countries, it's common courtesy to wear a mask when you are sick or you have any type of symptoms, because it's respect for others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I really feel like I don't want to say that culture is coming to the United States, but having the option now of a mask, I don't think a sale of a mask is going to go away anytime soon. I like having the mask. There's lots of instances where the mask is something I'm really want to have at that instance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the things too where I really enjoyed wearing a mask was when there was fires, because I have asthma and the air gets so bad and I was wearing my mask, and it helps a tremendous
And
amount.
when it's cold.
Sheesh.
There were so many times where I was like, ooh, it's cold.
Yep.
But we got a couple super chats. One from Jacob Gile, who says
Jacob!
$1.99. It says the positivity is awesome. Can I get a fire punch?
We gotta get a sound effect. One of those.
Yeah. And Faith Gonzalez sends another super chat for $4.99, and she says, "And just an FYI, you can't ask anyone if they have been vaccinated because that is a HIPAA violation."
And that. I'm so glad Faith is in here. That was something I'm like curious how this all gonna work. I just want to be upfront, asking people for medical information. That like I hope that's never normalized, because I feel like that's bad to be like, oh, what's your medical records? You know, are you vaccinated? I'm so uncomfortable with that. Like thought of that. I don't know. I agree with what Faith just said right here. Because I was like, what are they gonna just be asking, like, are you vaccinated, not vaccinated at a theme park? And then I would imagine that would trickle down to everything else. I don't know. To me, I was just wondering, I'm like, how's that all gonna work? But we're in this like learning process of this is just a new 2021, literally a new 2021. Mm-hmm. But thank you, Faith. I appreciate that information.
We got a super chat from Darlene Roberts.
Dropping 9 out of 9.
She says, "Thanks again for all your great work. Where do I get that fabulous Five Fires cup?"
Oh my gosh, this is crafted by Melissa. It's just a one of.
She makes custom cups.
But... Yeah, she her name's on Instagram. I think it's crafted by Melissa. She might have changed it by now. Let me look real quick. I'll let you know. You do not have to purchase the Five Fire cup, but she makes she's one of the best like at the Starbucks cups. Let me look. It's called Crafted by Melissa _shop. She's wonderful. Melissa, she is great at what she does with all her Etsy shop. I think Etsy shop. Mm-hmm. Oh no, she actually has a website now. Wow, she's great. Super good option. But thank you, Darlene. I appreciate you supporting the fire.
Hortensia says, "That's true because I work in HR. That's violating HIPAA laws." I'm not sure like how any of that works. So it's interesting to hear from an RN perspective. I know that like traveling certain countries, you have to have certain like shots, not necessarily vaccines, but like you have to have like like yellow fever and malaria and all. Like if you're going to like Thailand or any of those other like Asian countries, like they do require some of those shots. Like if you're going to India, there's a lot of shots you have to get too. And I know like when we were kids, we had to like show proof of vaccine in order to go to school for like the like MMR. But that's even different nowadays because like some parents are choosing not to give their kids vaccines when they're young. So I don't even know how any of that works, to be honest. Like zero clue. Because they used to require it and then when our parents were young or our grandparents were young, like they had requirements of like the smallpox vaccine and like you had to have like proof of that somehow. So
I remember the other one was like TB, I think remember that? Mm-hmm. Man, things have changed so much since we were kids. I feel so old now. I never feel old until I'm like, man, high school was a long time ago. I'm like, geez Louise. Jar Jar Bougie. Time for a bougie cup.
Cup. You can have my bougie cup.
Jar Jar. You could even ask her to customize like your idea of what you want. She's so good. Crafted by Melissa, or I forgot her name already, but Melissa's shop is incredible. Mm-hmm. Incredible. Thank you, Jar Jar, with the bougie.
Cry cut.
We gotta hit that bell every time.
Oh yeah,
the bougie.
Bougie bell.
We won't miss the bougie bell. Sanders says, "I agree. Find fires. I feel like too many people are getting way too comfortable in asking if others have been vaccinated. That's a medical issue. Hashtag mind your biz." Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate the comment. Let me see. I'm just reading. All right.
Let's see here. Do you think they will make any mandate changes at Disneyland prior to June 15th? Possibly.
And that is the big date too that we keep hearing. June 15th. A lot of changes coming. I feel like this Monday, tomorrow, or 2 days from now is a big day too. I feel if changes were made that fast in Florida, and when changes get made here in California, I feel like Disney might move quickly as well with these changes, even though they have not made the change of out of state, which I'm still surprised on that. Because the guidance on the out of state is very clear, and other theme parks have adjusted, except Disneyland. They didn't do it.
Yeah, they do their own thing.
Disneyland always does their own thing.
They do their own thing. We got a super chat from Raul the Doctor.
The doctor in the house. Hashtag.
Oh, go ahead.
Just because, and I believe we are all friends for life because of Five Fire community. Damn.
Mondo's been saying it over and over again.
Five Fire for the doctor, man. Let's see.
Let's see.
All right. I think we're good to go here. Closing thoughts, Danny.
Yeah, I mean, things are changing nonstop at Florida. Like Mondo literally just read, they're removing the 6 foot distance in a phased rollout. So we're going to see changes happening. Today, like we mentioned, we saw Tower of Terror lose their plexiglass and like physical distance markings as far as like loading every row is concerned. So maybe we start seeing changes on like Rise of the Resistance losing its plexiglass. We see changes like happening to the monorail where like they can, because the monorail at Walt Disney World has some funky loading with the whole like procedures in place. Like they did some weird jerry rigging. They put that in there.
I hope Frozen loses it.
Yeah, Frozen. Frozen's honestly one that I don't even know why it has it.
That's the one where it was big time effective.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to do it to load more people, but like I felt like the loading at the front of the boat and the back of the boat was better because on that one, plexiglass gets wet and then you can't see anything. So it makes sense on other rides where there's no water involved.
Yeah. Yeah. So Walt Disney World, be prepared. A lot of changes have happened. There's probably more changes to come. They're just not clear as of right now. But I'm glad we were able to go over this information that they've already posted on the website, officially from Walt Disney World themselves. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate your help. This was definitely a lot of new information for me, and I'm glad we were able to share it with the Five Fire community. James Garrett says real quick, Magic Mountain is getting rid of Tidal Wave. We will be covering that soon, my friend. All right, everybody. Thank you, Danny. If you guys want the bougie block, Danny put a link in the description already right now. If you guys want to check it out, if you don't know what we're talking about, let them know what it is, just in case they're like, "What the heck is bougie block?"
I have it here actually.
Oh, he has it.
I have it. Pretty sure I have it. Yeah, it's just like a mineral sunscreen. So like I busted this out on day one of Disneyland reopening, and everyone was like freaking out as to what it is. I have like this weird aversion to like regular sunscreen. I hate the way it feels, being greasy, and you feel greasy all day.
Like the spray or the
spray
lotion.
or the lotion.
Yeah.
Sunscreen smells amazing. I love that smell, but I hate the greasiness of it. And so this is just literally clear powder. And you just brush it wherever you want sunscreen to be, and it doesn't really look like it's going on. Like you can kind of see a little white powder sometimes.
You can't see it.
But like I usually just like rub afterward too when I do it. It's like get it in, and it works. It's SPF 45, which is high in the spectrum, and you need to reapply it throughout the day. It's not cheap, but I mean for me the way that it's protected me while wearing it, and like the lack of
on a hot day too,
and the lack of greasiness, like it's for me like worth every penny for it. So
is this sunscreen sponsored? No, we are not sponsored by Peter. What is it? Peter what?
It's just that everyone kept asking it. Peter Thomas Roth. No, this is like a huge skincare brand.
Sheila T. I just bought mine yesterday.
No, this is a huge skincare brand. They would never sponsor us at any way because we're not skincare.
If Peter Roth wants to sponsor Five Fire, we would love to promote, because this stuff works.
Yeah, it does.
It works.
But they do like skincare products normally, so it's just someone recommended it to me because they knew that like I specifically like hated greasy sunscreen, so they're like, "Hey, have you tried this?" And I was like, no, I'm going to get that. So
Come on, Nancy, getting mine soon.
Yeah. So links in the bio if you want that, because everyone kept asking, and we had to keep like I've literally sent the link to people on like at least 50 DMs on Instagram.
He's not lying.
So I wanted to just have it somewhere, so I didn't have to keep like responding to people asking like, what was that stuff? Like, where can I get it?
What is it? Yeah.
So
Kat says, everyone, another amazing sunscreen is Salt and Stone, not greasy at all. Never heard of that one. I was actually looking for when I went to Sephora at City Walk yesterday. I bought 2 days ago. I bought Supergoop. I think I like Peter Roth a lot more. It is a little bit more expensive though. That one's expensive.
Yeah, it is $30. Just gonna be like forward with you guys. It's not like the cheapest sunscreen ever, because you can get like a bottle of sunscreen for like $6 at the grocery store. It's just that I don't like the greasiness, so that's why I don't want to do it.
And if you are planning to visit Disneyland real quick, be aware it's starting to get hot out here. It's getting real hot, so be prepared. Be prepared, everybody.
Bring your cooling towels too. Disney sells those, but I think you can get those on Amazon too for like way cheap. So those are amazing to have at the parks.
Super chat from Miss JTX13. Miss JTX13 says, we went to Disneyland yesterday and used bougie sunscreen, and none of us got burnt. And it's super easy to put on your kids who hate sunscreen. Oh, that's the perfect statement to put when you're trying to sell this thing. That's great. I'm glad it worked, because I could only speak from my experience. I wore that on a really hot day and I was fine. And Danny wore that on 2 hot days and he didn't even get red. Didn't even get red.
Like Paul, we were with Paul that day, Paul's Theme Park Adventures. He got completely burned, and I was totally fine. So.
But thank you, Miss JTX13. I'm glad you bought it, and I'm glad from a kid perspective, I never liked...
Yeah, kids hate sunscreen.
I didn't like sunscreen either when I was a kid.
They always get all angry when you're spraying on them. They're like, I don't... And then trying to get them to reapply. No way.
Jar Jar Bougie, I'm buying 6. The Jews, the Jar Jar Bougie being bougie. We got Jeannie B. Five Fires fam gonna clean out all the bougie block from stores. By the way, they some Sephoras do not sell it. It's an online thing. Yeah, that's what I learned.
Like Downtown Disney doesn't sell it.
I've gone to 2 Sephoras and they haven't had they have Peter Roth, but they don't have the brush. It's like I don't want to say online exclusive, but I've been to 2 and they haven't had it.
That's why I put the Amazon, because it's like you can just always get it on Amazon. And honestly, I think I paid more at Sephora than $30 for that. So I think I paid like $39.
Yeah, no, I think it's like $40.
Yeah, so it's like $10 cheaper on Amazon. So,
on Amazon?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Whoa. I wish I would have saved, because we bought 3.
Yeah.
We would have saved $30 right there. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for your time. Stay tuned. Speculation Sunday tomorrow. 5 o'clock, and we got a lot to talk about. Big Speculation Sunday tomorrow. All these changes, especially Disneyland, because wow, and especially Knott's Berry Farm too, since they've now reopened with reservations. So stay tuned, everybody. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow. Speculation Sunday, 5 o'clock. You guys can follow Danny on Instagram at Just Ask Danny, and also TikTok and YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for your time. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, but we are firing it down. The Cali Bay is calling it a day. I'm the main host, Mondo.